What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabri and I'm a computer science student. So let's dig right in. Okay guys, I'm finally on summer break, so I have more time on my hands to record videos. I hope these videos you guys find them enjoyable to watch, especially it's kind of like life updates. I'm just not doing this for any kind of monetary gain. It's more of like catching up with you guys. So it's pretty cool. In my winter term, I started in my mobile development class and I got to build real Android apps from the ground up using Kotlin and Jetpack Compose. So these weren't just practice exercises. They were like functional, creative, and taught me to think like a developer. So today I want to walk you through what I built, what I learned, and why these projects matter to me. So first, I'm going to introduce you guys to my first ever Kotlin app on Android, and it's called the business card. Now I know if you look at my screen right now, you see all these Android looking thingies. It's because I just didn't create a thumbnail for it. It's not a thumbnail, it's called an icon. But I just started with my business app, my business card app. As you can see, we have the Android logo along with my phone number, my social media handle, and my email. I'm probably thinking about I might blur some of these details just because I don't know if I should make these things public. But yeah, you get the idea. You see my name, the class that I'm taking. As you can see, I'm a student extraordinaire Android developer. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That was the first app. So basically what this first app, it displayed a profile photo, a name, a title, and an email, a phone number using composable functions. While simple, this project was my first, and I dove into the Jetpack Compose reel. So some of the key features that I want you guys to check out was the composable functions to structure the UI. So we introduced columns, rows, modifiers, images, and we styled the code with padding, alignment, and spacing. This project helped me understand how to build the UIs using Compose and made me realize just how powerful declarative programming is. It was also the first time I used Android Studio for layout previews. Alright, we're moving on to the second app, which is the Simple UI app. So this app basically is tying into buttons. So now we're introducing another dynamic of programming. So as you can see, we have a previous and the next button, and it's displaying beautiful lights. I did cite where I got these images from, so I did give credit to the person that is going out of their way to film these beautiful pictures. So as you can see, if you click the next button, it will take us to another image, and that's the idea. So I just needed natural beauty, and it was like Socrates, which I guess that's what his name is. So there we go. So and then we go on to the next image, and we go on to the next image. And then this is the last image. So we didn't make a huge inventory of pictures, but we did try to get the idea of working with buttons. And the cool thing about this is that when we reach the end, which is the 5th picture, it will loop back to our first picture. So the button wouldn't stop working, it will keep working, but it will just loop in between the 1st and the 5th image. And if you go previous, you'll see the 5th image. So I thought that was a cool feature that I added in there. It was part of the assignment, so yeah, very interesting stuff. Now I know there's so much more that I can talk about because this is a 120-hour course, so there's so much details that goes into these things, and I'm just brushing over the very basics of it, just so that you guys could understand and be on the same page. I did a lot of code for these apps. I don't know if it'll be interesting for you guys. I'm not going to walk you through the code just because I do think that not everybody likes watching that stuff. So I did want to make it so that the most amount of people can find this enjoyable and see how much I've learned throughout the course. So the next project was the CS course app. This app listed computer science courses and their descriptions. I used a lazy column to effectively enter the list and applied proper state management to keep the UI clean. So if we click on the CS course app, there's a list of courses with codes and titles and descriptions. This is a scrollable UI with lazy column, so there's like custom styling per shapes and elevation. As you can see, these are all the classes that I took. These are CS classes, so they're computer science classes. So we have something like Introduction to Computer Science 1 and 2, Discrete Math, Data Structures, Computer Architecture, Web Development, Analysis of Algorithm, Introduction to Databases, Operating System, Software Engineering 1, 2. So this is not all the CS courses I took. I took more than those actually, but these are just like what is required for you to take. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm doing the applied option, so I'm going for the human-computer interaction. So there's different applied options that you could go into. You could go to cybersecurity. You can go for game programming, game development, web development, robotics. So there's a lot of options, but I just like the idea of like having a human and seeing how they interact with their technologies. I just thought that was really interesting. So this app has taught me how to use structured data with Kotlin and display objects dynamically. It was set up from static UIs and helped me start thinking about app structures. Okay, this one is a great one. This one coming up next is the Corvalis City app. This was actually one of the biggest apps I worked on. The Corvalis City app was a guide for locals and visitors to discover the best places in town. So think of it like a simplified Yelp or TripAdvisor. So we have, key features of these are like categories like coffee shops, restaurants, parks, and these are my recommendations. I live in Corvallis right now, so I thought, what is a better way to do it than make a Corvallis app? So as you can see, there's detail with name, description, and images. So if you would click on the coffee shops, you would see a description of all the coffee shops that I recommend. So you have stuff like Imagine Coffee, Inner Zone, Coffee Culture. These are places that I definitely recommend. So as you can see, if you click on Imagine Coffee, for example, you can see their address and a quick description on the bottom of it. The nice thing was when you click on them, you could see their picture, and there's a back button that helps you navigate the UI pieces interchangeably. So if you go back, we go to Coffee Culture, you can see the image right there along with the address and a quick description of why I liked it. We could go back, we could go to restaurants. We have stuff like Block 15 Brewing, Delicacies Valley, Bow and Weinberger, Tari's Thai, Sky High Brewing. So same idea, you get the picture and address and a quick description of the place. And then last but not least, we go to the parks. And as you can see, I'm going through this really quickly, but this actually took me a long time to do. So we have places like Avery Park, Willamette Park, Bruce Storker Arts Park, Martin Luther King Park. And if you click on it, you could see the image along with the description and an address. I thought that was pretty neat. So if I ever wanted to think of places to go to, I would just pull out this app and then I'll figure out, places to go. So that is definitely one of the coolest things that I got to work on besides the next app that I'm going to talk about. So this app was my favorite. It felt real. I had to think about user flow, manage data using view models, and keep the UI responsive across devices. It pushed me to build with purpose, and that's the main thing. When you build an app, you want to think of interactivity. You want to think of real life situations where people will actually want to use your app for. So it hit it right on. But as I said, this is a 120-hour course, so there's so much to unpack here. So finally, there was the flight search app. This one lets users search for flights based on their origin, destination, and departure date. So one of the key features is input validation and error handling. There's room for databases to store flights entries, filtering logic to return only matching results, clean and readable UI with Compose. So if you would click on the search bar on the top and you wanted to type in a airport, you would see all these airports within my SQL database. And once you click on it, you could see all the other airports that are on the database. And if you click on the heart button and you go back, you will get starting point and a destination for the airport that you clicked on. So if we go ATL and we wanted to say, I want to go to every airport ever inside this database, you will get all these destinations. And if you wanted to go back and was like, oh, well, you know what, I just didn't want to have that route saved on my mobile phone, all you have to do is just click on it and it will just disappear and go away. So that was pretty cool. As you can see, I'm just clicking on them and all of them disappeared. And then we just kept the Atlantic airports on there. This app gave me a solid understanding of working with user input, handling state and writing logic that adapts to dynamic search criteria. It also refined my understanding of room queries and DAO integration. These apps were more than just assignments. There were lessons in building, debugging, and thinking like a developer. From layout to logic, each project helped me grow as a mobile developer. If you're a recruiter or someone looking for a driven junior developer, my GitHub link is in the description and I'd love to connect. I'm going to try and post this on LinkedIn and other spots, so if you saw this, leave a thumbs up. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was informative and you could see my progress throughout the entire course.